Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Lady Selah. I'm Angela Thomas, and if this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for being here. Whether you're listening while driving to work, sitting in your favorite chair, sitting at your desk, folding clothes, taking a walk, or maybe you're simply trying to make it through another day, I am so grateful that you've decided to spend these next few moments with me. Here at Lady Selah, we pause, we breathe, we have honest conversations about life, and then together we discover how God meets us right where we are. Today's episode is titled, It's About to Break, Pressure Before the Promise. So come on, let's dive in. Have you ever noticed that sometimes life seems to pile on all at once? Not one thing, but everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. The washing machine stops working, the unexpected bills show up, and then you have more bills than money. The doctor's appointments doesn't go the way you hoped. Someone disappoints you, and then your emotions are all over the place. You're praying, right? But heaven feels quiet. You're smiling in public, but shut down to the outside world, or maybe crying when you're alone. And somewhere in the middle of all, you find yourself asking, Lord, how much more? If that's where you are today, I want you to know I understand. Not because I read it somewhere, but because I've lived it. I've experienced seasons where grief seems like it knows my address. So I've buried my son, my parents, my sister, all in a 2-year span. I've survived open heart surgeries. I've lost a career after 3 decades, or nearly 3 decades. I've sat in the doctor's offices hearing words that I never imagined I'd hear. And even now, I'm walking through another health journey that requires faith one day at a time. So when I tell you I understand pressure, I really do. And here's what I've learned. Pressure has a way of convincing us that what we're feeling is what we'll always feel. So not true. It whispers in our ears things like, this is never going to change. God must have forgotten you. Just quit. Why keep believing? But guess what? Pressure is a poor prophet. It doesn't get to tell you how your story ends. I think about the children of Israel. Right before God delivered them, Pharaoh made life even harder. The workload increased, the pressure intensified. And if they judged God only by what they saw, they might have thought that he had abandoned them. But behind the scenes, God was already moving. Maybe that's where you are, not abandoned, just unable to see what God is arranging. Can I tell you something that I had to remind myself? That just because life feels heavier doesn't mean God is farther away. Sometimes we measure God's presence by our comfort. But throughout Scripture, God often did his greatest work in uncomfortable places. And here's another thought that I got. Pressure has a way of making permanent decisions look unreasonable. People quit marriages, right? They get divorced. Walk away from their dreams because maybe of what someone said. They leave churches because of maybe church hurt. Abandon businesses because it's not flourishing, it's not successful. Distance themselves from healthy relationships, not because God told them to, but because the pressure became louder than the promise. Please, don't make permanent decisions during temporary pressure. What I'd like for you to do is pray first. Wait, and then listen. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that every difficult season ends tomorrow. I'm not promising that if you hold on to this until Friday, everything will magically work out. No, that's not how faith works. Faith isn't believing God will do exactly what I want, exactly when I want. Faith is trusting that regardless of the timeline, because we all know that God's timing is not our timing, right? But that God remains faithful. And maybe, just maybe, the pressure that you're feeling isn't evidence that you're failing. Maybe it's evidence that you're growing stronger than you even realize. Maybe you're learning perseverance. Maybe you're learning dependence. Or maybe you're discovering that God's grace really is, in fact, sufficient. Here's what I want you to do. Don't let the pressure convince you to abandon what God never told you to leave. Because sometimes exhaustion sounds like wisdom. Sometimes fear, it sounds practical. Sometimes discouraged disguises itself as discernment. Not every thought deserves your agreement. And so today, if you feel like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, take another breath. Offer another prayer. Trust God another day. Not because you have all the answers, but because He does. So in my closing, if nobody has told you, I, Angela Thomas, Lady Selah, am proud of you. You are still here. You are still believing. You are still getting up every morning, and that matters. And if your season feels unbearably heavy, remember this. Pressure doesn't have the final words. God does. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this conversation encouraged you or resonated with you, I hope you will share it with someone who may need to hear this on today. Please like, please share, and please leave a comment. Until next time, take your pause, take your breath, and remember, God is still writing your story, so don't quit under pressure. This is your Selah.